conversation. Her name is Gina Fioretti. She is with Recuro Health, and we're talking with Gina today about long COVID and what the heck that means. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Gina's another of our Dallas connection from Fox. Gina, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Wonderful, and it's good to have you with us here today. So we're understanding long COVID is a term that's been out there for a little bit, and we're understanding that it can have a really devastating impact on people's health and long-term, and we're finding out all kinds of new things about it. Now they're grouping them into 3 categories of long COVID symptoms. What's that all about?
Yeah, I think that we're seeing a lot of different things all over the body. There are some prominent areas that we're seeing in reports: the heart, the kidneys, the respiratory function, your lungs and everything. And then we're still hearing about some of those neurological and sensory systems and the sleeping and the anxiety. So we're really, it's still pretty broad all over the human body.
Yeah. Now, well, let's start with the first one you mentioned, the heart, kidney, the circulatory system, and what long COVID can do to those particular parts of the body. And we're hearing some disturbing things, especially about the heart and young men. Is it as serious as the picture that's beginning to emerge?
I think that there's a lot of confusion about COVID. And, one thing that we've seen consistently is that the information has changed, and it's continuously changed. And we know for sure that it affects everybody very differently. And one of the ways that I think about it is that what if COVID sort of brings things to the surface that were already there that maybe we weren't sure about, maybe we didn't know, maybe it was an underlying issue that was pre-existing and we didn't have that information about it yet. So maybe it's just sort of revealing these weak spots in the immune system.
Kind of scary, though, isn't it? That those things could be lurking within our systems, and we don't even know it until COVID shows it to us.
Yeah, that's why it's really important to focus on the foundation of your health and take those preventive measures. Go and get your blood checked regularly. Make sure that you're doing the daily healthy things like eating well and exercising, right? Movement is definitely better than no movement. The future of our health depends entirely on what we do every day.
Yeah, we're also finding out that there might be a disproportionate effect on women's health, and that's distressing.
Yeah, it's scary. As a woman, there's a lot of unknown, and I think that it's something that we're going to continue to learn a lot about. The science is still out, and since it continues to change, it's still, we're going to continue to learn, well into the future. There's been a lot that, and it's still relatively new. It's only been 3 years, and we're continuously seeing new information come out all the time.
The interesting thing about that is that I recall when the vaccines were being developed and people talked about how new protocols enable us to bring vaccines into the mainstream much quicker than we were able to in the past. But at the same time, we really don't know long-term effects because we haven't been able to study it the way that we have in the past. And what are we going to find out about this or that with the vaccines or with the actual COVID-19 virus and its effects on the human body? As the years go along, is there a time frame that we can look at? I want to look at this in 2 years. I want to look at it in 5 or 10. Is there an accepted protocol for all of that?
That's a really great question. I wish I had the answer for you. COVID is still just a mystery. And to your point, the vaccines, they were made so quickly that I think there's still a lot of information that we need to gather, and there's a lot of research that needs to be done before anybody makes that decision, before anyone can answer that question.
And because of that, because there are those questions out there, there are people that probably will never trust the vaccines, aren't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the one thing that we can trust is that our own decisions for our health and our body. We are in the future, and we have, a lot of information at our fingertips, and whether we use it for the health of our own bodies or not is up to us.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking this morning with Gina Fioretti. Now, Gina, we talked about heart and kidney and circulatory system issues. You also mentioned respiratory issues, sleep issues, anxiety. There are things that we can do when we have those sorts of afflictions, and whether they're laid to long COVID or simply there are issues that have been a part of our lives that we're trying to find a handle on and trying to deal with. Some of these issues are things that we can really proactively go after, aren't they?
Absolutely. Yes. We can go and see the doctor regularly, getting regular blood work, being sure to, set timers and remind yourself to go to sleep at a certain time and set certain goals, eating healthy and drinking plenty of water and moving. I think that even just a little bit of activity every day is better than none. And it's really helping the blood circulate, right? It's getting your body more into that healthy zone where you can maintain that natural line of defense.
I think one of the interesting things that you mentioned as well is with these three categories that they talk about, or the number of different categories, however many you want to put your long COVID symptoms in for, there does not appear to be very much evidence to support the idea that there are muscle issues, joint issues that are coming up as a result of COVID or of the medications that we're putting into our bodies to battle COVID.
Yeah, I think it really is just a matter of affecting everyone so differently. You'll still see a few cases of the musculoskeletal or the neurological issues, but I think it really is a matter of, it really highlights the value and the importance of personalized medicine and a personal approach to health.
All right, and certainly that's what your company is all about, Recuro Health. It's RECURO Health, and people can go online and find out more. But tell me about it. What does your company do?
Yeah, Recuro is a really great platform where we're really trying to bring in a level of convenience to healthcare, because right now healthcare is confusing and it's a complex maze and all the information is spread out and a bunch of different platforms and apps, and it's really hard for a person to navigate it. And so what we are trying to do at Recuro is bring all of the data about you into one centralized platform so that we can help you be more preventive and more proactive about your health.
When you're attempting to bring all of these different aspects together, and information changes so quickly as it has with COVID over the last 3 years, and granted, these days that the speed with which we're learning about COVID has slowed down now. Still, the information probably comes in faster than it has traditionally. Does it force you, or does it require you to look even closer at the recommendations that you're making as an organization so that you can be right there on top of things? Yeah,
I think we're really trying to help everybody make a step in the right direction, regardless of how big that step is. And there's a lot of information out there, and it does change regularly. And if we have it all, if we can eliminate some of the complexity, I think it gives people a better opportunity to manage their health.
What's Recuro's Health's website again?
RecuroHealth.com.
RecuroHealth.com. Gina Fioretti has been with us here this morning on Indiana in the Morning. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.
And it is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160.